everyone, it's Jordan from JJ Media House, and today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed, the entire series. I have a lot of issues with the series, but don't think I'm going to be shitting on it, because I really do enjoy it. It just so happens that, well, I don't know, like the last Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite games on PS4, but they all have like huge issues. And by the way, if you haven't noticed already, the Assassin's Creed 4 will be playing in the background this entire time. But like I was saying, the games have huge issues, which have been around for, well, pretty much every single one. And I'm gonna be addressing them, and I hope you notice or pick up on them, or at least learn a little something, or I don't know. It's just good to hear some ideas sometimes. So, I'm gonna start off right away with saying they don't really feel like Assassin's Creed games anymore. They really don't. Not the last one that really felt like an actual Assassin's Creed game was number 2, and I feel like that game got most things right, kind of ish, most things. There's something really missing from the series, and I want to say it's called charm, but that might be the wrong kind of word to use. I'm just gonna keep using charm for now, though. If anyone remembers how they felt, or well, how I felt when I played the first and the second game, was I was immediately just drawn in and interested to the different times of history and how good the architecture was of every building and how well everything looked and how alive the city was. It was really amazing, especially with the second one, and the first one was just kind of what got me into the series, like really pulled me in. I thought all the characters and, like I said, the style was unique. I haven't been getting that kind of feeling from Assassin's Creed 3 or 4. Now, they're beautiful games and very fun and pretty well put together. There's just something about them that doesn't really click in my head, and I'm trying to keep an open mind here. And I understand there's a good chance it might just be me. I may not be as interested in the time zone that 3 and 4 take place. I mean, excuse me, and just, like, number 3, like, American history really just isn't my thing. And pirates, I'm not too interested in them either. I just, they're okay, I guess. But number 1 with Jerusalem, I thought that was really interesting. It was something out of, like, I don't know. And number 4, just pirates are pirates. I mean, everyone knows about them. There isn't really much to necessarily learn from them. The thing I loved about the two games was seeing things that I thought were unique in other cultures and other countries that I have been learning about, and seeing them, even though it wasn't like, you know, actually seeing them, it was just through a video game, and I thought it was really cool. And like I said, American history and pirates really just aren't my thing, I guess. But the thing about the series that I'm a little curious on why they're staying so, in my opinion, they're being very closed on where they're setting their games. Like, they could really just go anywhere they want at any time in history and do anything they wanted with history. I mean, they could change history, they could do anything, and it would be so interesting to watch different areas of the world and how certain things played out back then, and how, you know, they could really do anything they wanted to with this series. Like, the stories could be really dark and complex and satisfying, and if not dark and complex, they could even be comedic if they go to a certain time in history, and I don't know, there's just a lot they could do here. I'm just gonna throw this out. I don't know why this hasn't really sorry, I'm messing up on my words, been done yet, but I really feel like the one thing they really have to absolutely do soon is a ninja Assassin's Creed in Japan or China, some point in history. I'm not exactly sure when. I don't see why not. They haven't done this yet. That would seem like something everybody would love to do. I mean, it makes sense, a ninja assassin. I don't know. That's one thing I'm just throwing out there. That's something I've been thinking about for a while. That would be really cool. I'd love that. And, you know, okay, so I'm gonna get started on the mechanics. I'm thinking right now the things that bother me the most probably, I mean, are probably the most recent mechanics. there's so many fucking problems with the way these games play and nobody ever seems to notice. I'm gonna give a couple examples of things that are wrong and then go over them in detail. Maybe not a couple, like one, two, or three, because there really isn't like tons and tons of issues with these games. There's just so little, but the ones that are there, they bother me so much. So, like I said, let's get started. I'm gonna start with the combat. It's weak, weird, and sometimes for the past two games, the audio just really loves to mess up mid-battle. It likes to go out of sync or just not happen at all. It's really weird. And it the fighting is just way too easy. It really is. I remember the first Assassin's Creed. There were times when, you know, I was trying to act ninja and avoid a fight because I knew there was a good chance I'd probably would die and have to restart if I got into battle. And the more recent ones, especially number 4, you can just go right through anybody. I mean, you can cut through everyone like butter. You don't really need to take any cautious steps. You just get in, whoop ass, and get out. You might be wondering, what's wrong with this? Sometimes it's cool to feel badass. Well, everything's wrong. They're assassins. They're stealthy people. Some, like, stealth mechanics in the first game, in my opinion, were some of my favorites. I can understand action can be fun, and it is in these games. I wouldn't mind if it wasn't so easy. Like, I'd actually really like it. But in the first games, you had to know what you were doing. You had to pay attention, at least in the early stages, to do combat right. Otherwise, you would be better off running. For example, in the first game, to execute a kill move, you had to attack, and then when you hear the clank noise of the sword, you immediately press the attack button again to, yeah, you would press it again when you hear the clank noise, because the clank noise was the sign that you were applying enough force to knock their guard off and go for a kill move. And yeah, in the more recent titles, you just press the attack button repeatedly till everyone is dead. Also, countering is dumbed down as well. Since the second game, they have notified you when someone is going to attack, so you can counter it and kill them, which in my opinion is really stupid. I think if you counter someone, you should just kind of get them off you, push them away, hurt them a bit, give you more, you know, breathing room to think about what you're about to do. However, if the person is damaged already, then yes, I think a counter kill makes sense. Also, they shouldn't notify you when someone is gonna attack. You should have to pay attention and watch the movements of your enemies, learn their attack style. It would make fight moments more tense, not knowing your enemy's movements, and really allow your reflexes to go to work. I hate that the moment I start up in an Assassin's Creed game, I can cut through everyone, just hordes and hordes of people in seconds by pressing one button. Just doesn't feel right. In games like Batman, it works because, well, I mean, he's a superhero, he's Batman, and yeah, it works, and it feels a lot smoother anyway in that game and makes you feel better. Assassins aren't superheroes, so I really don't think they should be able to fight like that. Not until, like, later, at least. Mechanics goes, I think combat mechanics, the newer choices, like, yeah, fighting mechanics, the newer choices, they do work, like, some of the newer ones, like disarming and, you know, some of those, and, like, guns and all that. I think that's cool stuff, and, I don't know, they're okay, like, it's all cool and all, and counter kill, one try. Like, the one thing where you counter someone and kill them immediately, it could work if it's executed right. I think the games would be more intriguing if there were a skill tree, for example, like in Skyrim or Far Cry 3. Let me explain. In the most recent titles, as you start, you can kill anyone with the weakest sword set. With the weakest sword set, you can climb super duper fast. You're already a master with your hidden blade. You can do double takedowns and double running takedowns, and like double kill off rooftops, and you know, it's, if you're hiding, you're pretty, and all, like, yeah, you know, they just kind of like make everything easy. You're automatically a master from the beginning. And the stealth mechanics, if you're hiding, you're pretty much never going to be found, because the AI is too stupid to notice when you're obviously hiding. Now, I believe all the mechanics could work, but they would be better if you had to earn them, and not by progressing through the story earn them. If there's one thing that the last game got right, or the most recent game, got right is that the open world exploring and side activities are really well done and good. So when you start the game, if you could only execute one hidden blade kill, not counter, not even counter or not counter kill, and not so like weren't so amazing at hiding in plain sight and couldn't climb super ultra fast, but you could, but you had to do missions, but when you do missions, sorry, I'm kind of getting my thoughts mixed up. I'm getting a little worked up. But when you, when you fight or escape guards or hide or, do little side missions and things like that, you would earn XP, where you would gain skill points, and then to unlock the ability to, you could use the skill point to, unlock the ability to climb fast, to counter kill after a counter, like a second level of countering. To have less of a chance seen when hiding in plain sight. If you had to work to gain XP, to get skill points, to upgrade your assassin, to do cooler things, they would be a lot more satisfying and a lot funner to do. I think it would intrigue me more and make me put more time into the game to make my character badass. And you can't lie that when you play a game and when you play through it and you unlock something and you unlocked it because you're doing so damn good, it's a lot more satisfying because you've earned that skill. It's almost like learning. It's like a learning curve for your character, and it's I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. Now to target the stealth, this is an Assassin's Creed game. Stealth is supposed to be a big part. In the most recent titles, the only time stealth matters is when it's forced upon you in missions, where you're not supposed to be seen. The stealth mechanics are terrible. They're garbage. I could kill someone right in front of a guard and he wouldn't notice, and I've done this plenty of times. They try to make it look like their stealth mechanics work, like their stealth mechanics are good, that you're actually ninja and all this stuff, but you're really not. They're garbage, and the only thing that makes it seem like it works is the retarded AI. I mean, the AI is really fucking stupid. Like I said, I'd be hiding in a bush and I'd go and kill someone really quick and pull them in, and a guy would be staring directly in my direction and just wouldn't notice. You just turn around or keep going his route that he's programmed to go. And that's another thing. The routes are always the same. The guards don't they could at least stay posted or change routes or just be different every time if you lose and respawn, but no, they're always the same, and it's just really not that great. The AI is really dumb. They don't really notice anything you're doing. I think a lot of the hiding spots are really unreasonable too. Like, some of them work, I get it. I shouldn't, but certain things are really stupid. I shouldn't be able to blend in with hookers, not at least in the center of them or something like that. Make it a bit more reasonable. It should be more like a guy, you make your character do actions. If you're gonna hide in a group of hookers or whatever, you should make it look like you're gonna pay them or you're attracted to them or something like that, instead of just standing in the middle of them. Because don't mind me, I'm just a hooker with 2 swords and an assassin hoodie and guns. I just cost extra because of all the cool shit. The first game was heavily concentrated on stealth, and it did it very well. You would be stealthy, feel really cool. There were even obstacles that would get in your way if you're trying to be stealthy. There were beggars that would just run up and be really annoying and slow you down, get you farther away from your target. There were mentally ill people that would kind of just, if you got close to them, they'd kind of smack you and knock you back and make you hit people and attract attention, and guards would look at you. And then there were people with boxes that if you kind of hit them, they would drop their stuff and be like, what the hell, and everyone would look at you again, once again drawing attention, and it would draw tension, and it would make for some intense moments. I really miss the way the guards reacted as well in that game. In the new one, you get an indicator telling you what their status is. I think they if they're alerted, if they're looking for you, and stuff like that. I don't think they should do that. In the first one, you had to look at the soldier's stance. I mean, you had to pay attention to the way they were moving and the way they were, just how they were. If they were holding onto their sword, they were alert. I mean, not full on, hey, I'm gonna kill this asshole, but they were aware of an assassin's presence, or, well, not just specifically an assassin, but and they would keep an eye out. If the sword was out, they were hunting you down. I mean, that was it. Like, if their sword's out, they know you're there, they're onto you. And the game, like, the games would be better, the newer ones, it would be better if the stealth was still like a huge part and it actually worked. It would make for really intense moments. If I had to actually run and hide to live, I feel like being, it would be really intense. It'd be cool. I feel like being chased loses its intensity, and yeah, it loses its intensity when I know I can turn around and kill everyone 4 times as fast as it would take to run and hide. To be honest, that's as bad as my complaints get. Just some of the mechanics with the games feel a bit like dumbed down. I feel like those are the biggest, like, those are just little issues, those are just a couple, but those are some of the biggest aspects of the game, really. The most important elements, and they're messing them up. I was wondering if anyone else had also noticed this, but in my AC4, after diving, after doing a viewpoint and like a eagle viewpoint thing where you learn the map, the noise of the eagle when you dive seems to be missing. I don't know if anyone recognizes this noise, but it's been in every single one, as far as I'm concerned, and it like never happens when I do it now unless it's part of the story. Maybe a small thing like just a little eagle noise, but that's kind of like the Assassin's Creed games are so well known for little things like that, and it actually pulls away from the experience. Like I said, I do still enjoy these games, but I feel like they're turning into Ubisoft's Call of Duty. They're just going to keep repeating mechanics, only making them easier because it takes less time to push the game out. The Assassin's Creed series could do a lot. It could go to any point in history, it could do something new with each game. If they keep making the games like they are now, they need to take the Assassin's Creed name away. They need to change the title. They need to just start calling them, like, I don't know, Parkour Badass Goes to Colonial Marines, Parkour Badass Pirates, I don't know, something like that. Because that's what it is. I mean, you're not really an assassin anymore, you're just a guy who does really cool parkour, and you're a badass that kills people really fast. I don't know. But I mean, the first game was so unique and good. I really enjoyed it, and I mean, that's, like I said, that's just what it feels like. It feels like they're pulling away from the Assassin's Creed title. They don't feel like the Assassin's Creed series games anymore. If you play the most recent one, AC4, you notice it's the best played not as an Assassin's Creed game. Its best moments are just when you're wandering around and exploring and doing side missions, like a GTA game or just an open world game. And what I enjoyed about the series most was just the way it involved itself in history and deep, and it was sometimes dark, and it had a really intriguing story and challenging gameplay, and just the time zones they were choosing in history was really cool for a while. And I mean, they really had something going for themselves, but it seems like they just want to push a game out every year now, which isn't okay. In my book, I think innovation is important, even if it takes like 2 to 3 years to put a game out. Even though I don't like waiting that long, but still. So I mean, that's really like most of what I have to say. Is just like a couple of the mechanics are kind of broken, and it really does pull away from the experience. Most of other things are pretty well done, but I do believe they need to make some serious changes, because people are going to start noticing a bit later. I might have noticed a bit early on in the series, but people are going to notice, like they did with Call of Duty. I mean, it fucking took forever for people to notice how repeated Call of Duty was, but I mean, we got there. So, yeah, thank you. If you enjoy the series, that's fine. Like I said, I still do enjoy it. I love the series, but it is getting repeated and old. Anyways, if you love the series, if you think differently from me, if you agree with me, anything at all, please do leave a comment down below. I will respond. I can make a reaction video, anything. But so enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jordan from JJ Media House, and I will see you guys next time.